Hey guys, this is Daniel.
And Matthew, and we are that
That damn
damn brand.
brand.
One of these days we'll get it right, but still not today. This is going to be a first for us. We're recording a video podcast,
Oh no.
and
Wait.
Daniel went black.
Okay. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, we're recording a video podcast for the first time. We're kind of tricking OBS by, because that's what I'm using to record. I have Daniel's video coming in via Skype, and OBS is recording my video via the webcam. So I can see him, but he cannot see me, unfortunately.
Correct.
Yeah, so you can't tell if I'm laughing at his jokes. You have to watch the podcast along with you guys later.
There we go. I set my Skype to be light, so it projects
Cool.
lights.
Awesome. All right, well, the first thing we wanted to mention is just today, a couple of hours ago, in fact, I uploaded a video to YouTube talking about the Metal Gear Survive open beta. But it was pretty much my point of view on things, my perspective, because I recorded all the footage and I talked about it. So I already know what Daniel thinks, but we want to go ahead and get it out there for the world. So go ahead, tell us what you think.
Thought it was all right.
Yeah,
Pretty much it comes down to it's many games like it before it. Fortnite. This tower defense thing seems to be really getting popular, and it's honestly kind of making me think about the battle royale s- uh,
genre.
uh, genre, how it just came out of nowhere. And tower defense has been there for a while, I guess, but out of nowhere, the popularity of it is just huge, and I feel like it's just another one of many.
Yeah, I guess it takes a sexy game to come along and make something popular like PUBG.
Yeah,
Hope I said that right. I always struggle with that. But PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, that kind of opened the door for the floodgates. And what's funny is I wrote an article about the battle royale genre on the website, and I started listing all these ones that were coming up like Darwin Project, Not My Car, etc., etc. And then I got an email this morning from I don't remember when I signed up, but apparently I signed up for some alpha, and it's called Robo Royale, and it's like a game where you can like build robot dinosaurs and like Transformers or something, but it's the same kind of
that's
thing. Like it's like 100 people and you just.
yeah.
So I don't know. It seems like it might be interesting, but yeah. So that genre is still like you said exploding, and there's gonna be all kinds of I don't know variations on it before.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Metal Gear Survive is not the last AAA franchise that's going to be used to push a game like that. Because obviously, like I saw no signs of Metal Gear in it other than seeing like someone seeing you and it does the yeah like it I guess no gameplay I should say. It was all like fan service.
Yeah, and as I mentioned in the video, it's Metal Gear is known for like political espionage and that sort of thing, and then this one's like about fucking zombies. It's I agree. But it's the first game that since Kojima left Konami, so that could be why, you know, it's
I guess just trying to milk the Metal Gear for what it's worth before they know they're gonna destroy it.
well, yeah, but I mean, so like let's say the comparisons we made like with Fortnite and I mentioned Minecraft in the video as well because of the you have to manage your hunger and your thirst.
Oh, survival games. That's
Sur-
another
yeah, okay,
genre that's coming out.
right, survival games. So let's say they were trying to capitalize on the popularity of something like Fortnite. Fortnite's been in development for at least 5 years. I remember hearing about it in like I don't know 2012 or something. 20
Yeah, it was a long time ago. It was like
yeah
right when Cliffy left.
yeah pretty much like when he left Epic Games. So it's been around for a while. So the only thing you can say is that maybe they were trying to model Metal Gear Survive after Fortnite, but Fortnite didn't really explode until it came out with the free Battle Royale expansion. So I don't know, but I think you're right in that other AAA titles and franchises will probably try and capitalize on whatever the new hotness is.
Yeah, I can't wait for the next like the AAA game to follow Fort or not Fort. Yeah, well Fortnite I guess. Because I think it's more popular than Player Battlegrounds now, isn't it?
I wouldn't say it's more popular. I just think they might have a larger player base because PUBG just well, I don't know if it's even still on multiple consoles. I think it just launched on Xbox.
It launched on Xbox a few months ago, but I think the fact that Fortnite's free helps it.
Well, yeah, exactly. So Fortnite is free, so you don't have to pay for it, which is one benefit. But then also it beat PUBG to consoles, and it's not exclusive to Xbox like PUBG is. It's also on PlayStation. So, and if I'm remembering correctly, I think PlayStation actually has a larger install base than the
It
Xbox.
does.
So,
That's why that's a big deal about how PlayStation won't let cross compatibility or crossplay. Sorry, not compatibility.
right, crossplay with the Xbox because PlayStation has more to lose than Xbox does. Like PlayStation stands to lose, Xbox stands to gain.
Which is funny because last gen it was the other way around, and well, I don't think it's not gonna happen anytime soon.
Yeah, well, I mean, PlayStation allows crossplay with PC, and I think Xbox does in certain games too. So it's just, I don't know, it's just a matter of time before it's all able to happen. I mean, we covered this in a audio podcast a while back that Fortnite enabled it by accident, a while back. So
Yeah,
if it's that fucking simple, then why the hell doesn't more people do it? Like, I don't know. I guess they're under the pressure from Microsoft or Sony to not do it. So
I'm pretty sure that's what it is. It's like if you want to launch the game on our console, then you can't do that.
yeah. Well, so I kind of liked Metal Gear Survive, but I could see it getting old fast. I knew Daniel felt kind of mad about it, and he was just kind of struggling to play it with me so that I could get good, decent footage for the video. Um,
Yeah, I
but
didn't care for it too much. I felt Fortnite did that style better.
which is weird because I thought Survive was better than Fortnite. I don't know.
I felt
Maybe
Fortnite was more fluid.
I think to me it was probably the more realistic take on it or realness of it than um, in Metal Gear as opposed to Fortnite. Fortnite was very kiddie and like cartoony, and I don't know.
Yeah, but I don't know. I guess that's your take on it. I felt it was out of place. Like all the building and then just teleporting in shock grids or whatever you were putting up.
Yeah, like the traps they're essentially like traps in Fortnite.
Yeah, it was just so, I don't know, in my opinion, it was a Metal Gear skinned Fortnite for the most part. And it just didn't appeal to me. I could maybe if I spent more time with it, like got a little deeper into it, I'd see some differences, and I will obviously see some differences, but enough of a difference to justify a title of its own.
Right, right. And who knows? It could be a massive success. It could fail right out of the gate. We'll know soon enough.
I'm gonna go with fail because I think that the Metal Gear fan base is very passionate and they will not take kindly to this.
Well, and so from my research for the video, they haven't taken kindly to it. Apparently, they were very upset with the direction that the series has gone with this game. So yeah,
Their rage is strong.
I'll probably agree with you in that it's probably gonna fail, but I would never. Well, I'm trying to think if I would ever specifically wish a game to fail. I don't think I would ever specifically wish a game to fail, but yeah,
Yeah, I'm not wishing it to fail. Well, I'm not gonna say I don't wish. I have wished many games would fail, like Halo 5, Halo 4, but
yeah,
uh,
yeah.
I don't have a. I'm not a Metal Gear fan, so I don't have a stake in it either way.
Hmm.
I can see how it's different from all the previous Metal Gears, even Revengeance, which was way out there for a Metal Gear game.
Yeah, that was kind of like its own spin-off, but this is
Yes,
even different than that.
yeah, that had more similarities to original Metal Gear than Survive. And maybe it's how they tried marketing it, because Revengeance, everyone knew what they were getting when they first got it. Like when it was announced, they knew that they were getting like a Ninja Gaiden style, I guess, ninja game. I think Survive was pitched as like an actual like Metal Gear game until people saw gameplay.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. Like, I'm still not convinced it's just a wave defense game. I think there's some sort of, like stealthy aspect to it because on the loading screens it said, if you stand behind an object, the creature won't see
Won't
you.
see you.
And
Yes.
it's
No
like,
shit.
who gives a shit if there's a fucking, if it's a wave defense, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
ultimately, in that scenario, you have to stop them from destroying the wormhole digger. But if you're actually trying to be stealthy, then maybe it's a different mission. Like, cause I do remember it saying specifically like this beta would only be salvage missions, so there might be different types of missions in the game. Like part of it
Well,
is wave defense or whatever, and then part of it's like stealthy collecting stuff without being seen, blah blah blah. I mean, I don't know.
if there is, then my argument is completely null and void. If it's only that what I played, and I don't know because I didn't research Metal Gear Survive, because I really didn't care for it to begin with.
Mhm.
But if it's only that style of game, then I don't give a shit.
Right.
If there's more to it and I can just bear through that, then I'm actually kind of interested in it. If it's like an actual somewhat co-op style Metal Gear, I think that's very interesting.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with giving up some way, like whenever you do a co-op or multiplayer game, you can't do it like the way you would a true single player game. You especially, I don't know, you can't give multiple people the same freedom, I guess, because you can ruin the game, like for instance, killing important NPCs or whatever.
Right.
So I know there's gonna be limitations, but I would be okay with them setting those limitations to allow a multiplayer experience in a Metal Gear universe
Yeah, I agree.
of a true Metal Gear experience, not
Not like
what we played.
or like a Far Cry 3 added on multiplayer co-op experience or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. I see. Okay. Well, let's move on from Metal Gear for a minute. We've talked about that for a while. Plus, there's a video out, so that'll
Mhm.
by the time this goes up, that will be linked on the site, so you'll be able to check that out there. I also want to mention a game. I gave Daniel a key for it, but he hasn't had a chance to play it yet. He's been setting stuff up, but it's a game called Band of Defenders, and it's essentially very similar to Metal Gear Survive. You have like a I wouldn't say it's a base in the game. It's like a missile, like an A bomb or something. But you have to protect it. You have to stop, creatures or enemies, bad guys, that sort of thing from getting to it. And you can build defenses and turrets and stuff. And you have guns and yeah, it's very similar, but it's kind of cool. So played that. I think it's still in alpha or maybe it's closed beta, but I got a key for that and I was playing it a little bit and Daniel has a key for it, so maybe we might have some impressions of that in the future. Maybe not. I don't know yet. We'll see. But Daniel does have a video in the works. We've been kind of discussing the final finish. Excuse me. We've kind of been discussing the final touches for it. Do you want to go ahead and touch on that for a second?
Well, without giving away like too much of what's in the video, it's pretty much my opinion of VR and where I see it in the next few years as a gaming platform. As a platform itself, it's, it's taking off in professional industries, but I'm gonna be focusing on gaming because gaming is not really keeping up with the professional industries. As in, there's big money in big business, so they're willing to buy a $500, $7 headset. But the average consumer, as of now, as of what we've seen, hasn't been willing to do that. So I'm talking about what I see for the next 3 to 4 years, maybe two, even 2 years.
Yeah. So that look out. Be on the lookout for that. That'll be on the website and YouTube shortly as well. Probably within the next day or so. And then so moving right along. Um, finally, we got a second Hunt Showdown Alpha key, and so I was able to pass that along to Daniel, and we were able to play a little bit, very very briefly. Since the thing about Hunt is that since it's in alpha, there's been a lot of bugs and very poor optimization. Again, I had a video on that on YouTube. But the developers, Crytek, they've actually been very active on the forums and on Steam and everything and Facebook, and they've been listening to the player base. And so they've been very active in trying to fix bugs and but the problem with that is that the game comes down at random times. They're like we're going to take the game down. Servers are going to restart in 15 minutes, blah 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 blah. So unfortunately, we're still running into issues. I think we tried playing for maybe like 2 hours total yesterday, but we
And
got
we got one game in.
well. So yeah, so I hadn't played the alpha since I heard that they made improvements to it. What I had to do originally was reduce my resolution so that I could get decent frame rate because it's still poorly optimized and also my PC is not the greatest. So that was my workaround. So I heard that they actually improved the optimization. I heard that they made a lot of graphical improvements and that sort of thing. So I said, all right, I'm going to bump the resolution back up to 1080p. So I did that, and Daniel and I got grouped up. We got into a game. Fucking, I don't know what, 5 minutes in, it fucking crashed or froze on me.
Yeah,
So
froze or something.
yeah, so I had to exit out the game, and then by the time I loaded it back up, it already said I was dead. So um, yeah, that was not bad. And I think Daniel ended up dying to like a NPC creature or something while I
Yep.
was, because that was his first experience of the game. I wasn't able to guide him very long because the game kept skipping and freezing. So what I did was I turned around and lowered the resolution back again and got into a game. And this time I felt we were doing pretty well. We were killing a lot of grunts. We were finding the clues.
Until our communications went down.
Right, that was gonna be my next point.
Yeah.
So we got to like this I think it was a barn or something, and where one of the clues was, and I was telling Daniel like, okay, I heard shots or something, and then so we go out the barn, and then Daniel's getting in a shootout with this guy, and Daniel goes down, but I pull out my rifle because I think I was running shotgun and pistol or whatever, so I pull out my revolver pistol and I shoot the guy down, and he's in the water and he goes down, and I pick Daniel up and I say, okay, now kind of just watch the area, like see if his friend's gonna come or if he was, by himself. And Daniel was just like in the barn in the corner, not doing anything. So I'm like, okay, I don't know, like what the fuck he's trying to do right now. But I think it was around this point that his headset started dying, or just communication in general went down, that sort of thing. So I didn't know what the hell's going on. I'm like, well, fuck it. I'm just gonna try and lead him by example, kind of thing. So I continued on, carried on, ended up killing a couple hellhounds, and we made our way finally to the butcher, who was the boss that we were going for in that. And he wrecked us with one hit. It was kind of ridiculous, wouldn't you say?
Well, I wasn't able to use my vitality to heal, and I don't. Maybe I just don't know the mechanics behind it, but I was able to use it beforehand on the first time that we played that you got booted.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I need to learn some mechanic. Maybe it was this glitch that game.
It's possible.
I did notice a lot of glitch. I know it's an alpha, so I'm not gonna shit on them for that. That comes with the territory. That's the reason we're playing.
Yeah, but I don't.
Uh,
I, I mean, I feel like the butcher needs tuning or something. But we did discuss the fact that I think out of my two health bars or whatever, I only had one remaining, so that could be why I got killed.
I
And
had a
that,
single remaining as well.
yeah, so that might have been why we got killed in one hit. Like maybe if you're at full health, then you just like get swatted down and you're able to get back up. But
But
that's
we
still a
weren't able to use
little.
our healing devices though. That's what bothered me.
Right. Yeah, yeah. But still a little OP in my opinion. It's just like one hit. So I mean, essentially you just have to kite him around the entire time, or like camp in an area where you can like kind of like snipe at him from a distance with your revolver, or if you don't have a shotgun, you're using the rifle. But in the main screen, the loading screen when it's getting ready to start with the butcher, it says to kill him with shotguns and explosives. So I don't know. That's probably something they're gonna figure out as the game gets closer to release. But I mean, I think it's fun. I kind of enjoy it. Would you say the game looks? Cause now you have your 4K monitor set up. Like, would you say the game
It's
looks
2K.
really? Oh, sorry, 2K monitor. Would you? It's ultra wide. That's the big takeaway that I remember.
Yeah.
Would you say that the game looks really good?
I would say it looked decent. It didn't look great, but maybe it was just the graphic optimization.
Yeah, it could still be something they're working on, but
Yeah, because another thing is I had to tone down my resolution because of the way the mouse lined up with certain things. If I turned it to my resolution for 2K and like ultra wide, and I would hover my mouse over a button, it wouldn't register that it was over. And then if I put it like let's say a little bit to the right, then it would recognize it. So the mouse was off a little bit from the buttons. I would have to click a little bit to the right of the buttons to um to actually like register the different things.
yeah, and in a game where shooting is involved, that's kind of important that you have, your mouse
Right.
going where you want to, and that sort of thing. So
So I toned it down to 1080p, which I thought was interesting that it still gave me the ultra wide look. Like it wasn't stretched, it was ultra wide, but just a toned down resolution and all the and my mouse clicked wherever I clicked it. So I thought that was a little bit more important. I'm looking forward to them actually fixing the resolution. It obviously looks like it's going to be in there because there's already an option for it in there right now. It just doesn't work well.
Yeah, well, like we said, it's an alpha and they're still working on the optimization, but
Yeah, so I can't really speak on in terms of like 2K because I was playing in 1K.
oh well. But still, like I mean, you were able to run 1080p without issue. I was having frame rate
Yeah,
problems until I changed my resolution down. So I thought the game looked good whenever it would run in 1080p.
I thought it looked good. Yeah.
Uh,
Looking, I think it'll be a solid game. I don't know how long I could play it for. I think it's one of, it's new, so that's cool.
mhm.
It's a great concept, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of blends, the PvP and the PvE elements pretty well. I remember when I was first talking about it, you were surprised that I liked it because it's kind of competitive, but I feel like there's a lot of strategy to it, you know,
Definitely.
and if you don't have common sense, then you probably die a lot quicker than most people. And I was trying to crouch as much as I could, and I would pay attention to gunshots and that sort of thing. So um, for people like that pay a lot of attention, they'll either do fairly well. Either they're well, okay. So the conundrum is that either they pay a lot of attention to the audio clues and cues, and they're able to pick up on where people are, or they're just goddamn really good at games like that. Like those players in PUBG that can snipe from 200 yards, and all that. So those people will do really well in that kind of game as well. I feel.
Yeah. I see it being more of a strategy than obviously mechanical skills are going to come down when you're dueling.
Yeah, like so when Daniel and I actually got to the butcher, I don't know if we were like the first ones there or we were the last ones there, but like by the time we got to him, we weren't hearing any other like extraneous gunshots or any kind of anything. So I mean, we could have either been the first ones there or the last ones, and yeah, I mean, normally when you get to the boss, you kind of have to pay attention and be on the lookout for other players, because their goal is the same. For those that are
Yeah.
uninitiated to it, basically you get a bounty and you have to go and kill the boss and then banish him. And then once you banish him, he drops the bounty and you pick up the bounty and then you can extract. Like you go to a certain point in the map and you can extract. But the whole time while you're fighting the boss, other players can come in. The whole time while you're banishing, they can come in. When you have the bounty, like when you're running with it, people can use their special ability, which is the E, which allows you to see kind of like the blue, like where you need to go kind of thing. People can see that you're carrying the bounty, so like it puts a target on your back. So it's, I don't know, it's definitely you gotta have eyes in the back of your head. I guess is a good way of putting it. So
Every action, yeah, it's like it because every action that you do has a consequence.
yeah, something as simple as opening a gate makes a lot of noise. Like, a wooden fence like creaks, and there's like if you're just running around all willy nilly, there's like chains and pots and stuff that you can bump into.
Crows.
And when you go up to like a group of crows on the ground, they fly away and make a lot of fucking noise and um, that sort of thing. So I think the audio cues are a big part of it, and I think it's really
It is.
cool. I think it's
Yeah,
really
it's a great concept. Like as I said, it makes you think about even the simplest things.
yeah, for sure. Um, So then moving on from Hunt, another game that's I'm pretty sure it's still in alpha. It might be uh, closed beta. I just got a key for it as well as Pantropy, which is kind of like a mech base building. I don't know if it's wave defense yet, but it's seems like it might be. I haven't had a chance to actually play that yet, but that's something I'm looking forward to. It just launched on Kickstarter as well, and so if you back it on Kickstarter at a certain level, you can get access to the alpha. But um, I'm very weary about backing games on Kickstarter, so I'm just glad I was able to get a key, and I'll give that a shot. And if there's something interesting, then you'll hear about it from me. So be on the lookout for that. Daniel, you want to mention your trip towards the end of the
Oh
summer?
yes. So that damn brand is going to have a presence at E3 this year. I'll be there all 3 days, and I'm pretty stoked because it's my first E3.
Yeah. I have a little bit of tips that I can give him because I went back in 2010 when I was a part of some other gaming website, shall remain nameless. Uh, but it was a lot of fun, and since then they've opened E3 to like non-press, so the casuals and the unwashed masses can get in. But um, maybe by this point next year we'll actually qualify for the press pass, and we won't have to worry about actually paying for the pass. Who knows?
I like the perks of the VIP business, so I may be interested in that, but we'll see.
Yeah,
Free
you know.
sounds better than paying.
Well, yeah, if it's free, it's me. And then, yeah, I guess that's the only other thing I had on our little outline here was the Destiny 2 DLC, which you mentioned to me previously.
Yeah, I guess it's more news, but Bungie's saying that they're gonna try to make the next DLC, or not DLC, but expansion massive. I don't know if they mean like after expansion 2, because I thought expansion 2 was already uh planned, I guess, in terms of like what they want to do with that one. So I don't know if they mean the next expansion after that, or if they mean expansion 2, like they're like, all right, expansion 1 sucked ass, so we need to do something with expansion 2 so our player base doesn't further decline.
Yeah, like, I mean, if I had to guess, I would say it's the one that's not included with the season pass because
That's what I would,
Activision's behind it,
yeah, that's what
and
I would say as well. But
Activision's all about the money, so.
one can hope, right, that they won't bone us that bad.
Well, I mean, yeah, but then again, this is also the company that kept their pre-order sword locked behind level 20, and by the time you got it, it was fucking useless, which pissed me off. So, there's only so much we can hope for, I guess. But
I don't know. For those who care about Destiny, there you go. For those who don't, which probably the masses,
it,
you can do what you will with it.
yeah, it's funny because like you can start to see companies going back to like AAA games that launch that had a lot of issues and they're trying to fix them. The most obvious example that comes to mind for me is The Division. Like they've made a
Yeah,
lot of
division.
changes to that game and they've actually like it's a pretty awesome game now. I booted it up not too long ago. But the example that came up most recently to that I can recall was actually For Honor, which Daniel and I played the beta of for a little bit, and it was cool, but I could see it being like getting old really fast. Like not,
Repetitive.
yeah, it was very repetitive, and I could see it getting old really fast, like really, really fast. Like not like oh it might get old. It was like no, I'd probably play this for a few days and then be like cool, I'm done, cash out.
Yeah.
So
It was new, but there was nothing in it, like no depth in the game.
right. And so what they recently announced with For Honor was that they're getting dedicated servers on PC, which is a big thing because if you've ever tried to play a multiplayer game that doesn't have dedicated servers, aka Gears of War comes to mind, host advantage is a legitimate thing. Like if you're hosting, you don't have as high a ping, you have better, you're able to kill the enemy better because you're not lagging essentially.
I
So
remember host shotgun.
exactly. Host Shotgun was a bitch. So yeah. I mean, you know what I'm talking about. So, yeah. So with dedicated servers coming to For Honor, that's kind of a big deal since the whole, I guess, point of For Honor is like a multiplayer type thing. Like you can go PVE, but it's against bots. And while they were stupid, like a lot of bots these days, they make them outrageous. Like not just that they're really good. It's like if you've watched the AI's perspective in Overwatch, for example, they'll like be doing a 360, and then you come around the corner, and then suddenly, bam, headshot, and you're dead. You're like, fucking really? Like at least make it realistic. Like come on. But so for Honor, since it's so PvP focused, dedicated servers is like a huge deal. And I actually mentioned that to my friend Eric. I was like, "Hey man, dedicated servers come into For Honor," because he was playing the shit out of that game when it came out. He's like, "Yeah, I installed a while ago." I'm like, "Yeah, that's probably what happens with these games. Like they lose their player base so fast that they go around and try to fix these issues, and it's like too little, too late.
Yeah,
So
because think about all the games that come out that, you get one shot for the most part.
yeah, yeah. And so with Destiny, I mean, it might end up being too little, too late at that point. I mean, I've seen videos on YouTube, people saying the player base is just dropping off exponentially, and I can believe it. Because, I mean, hell, you and I haven't played Destiny in, what, months now?
Probably. It's been a while.
So,
And I really don't care to go back.
I,
Unless it's like a good DLC that comes out. Like I like the story driven stuff. I don't mind doing the raids if they're like not stupid and having to wait an hour to do.
but they are, so.
Yeah.
And then also you were saying the PvP was kind of cool because it reminded you of Halo, but then you said that that wasn't their intent and they're gonna fix that.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's if you're gonna change the one thing that you like about the game, then why the fuck are you gonna play the game?
Yeah.
So yeah, um, I don't really have anything else to mention other than that. So
No, I don't have anything either.
all right, well, I guess that's probably gonna do it for this first video podcast. I've been Matthew.
No, I've been Daniel.
And we'll see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It really does help us out.
Later. Peace.
Bye.